The House passed an $886 billion yearly defense bill Thursday, sending it to President Biden's desk. He's expected to sign it into law. The Defense Department's budget for 2024 will be 3% higher than 2023's. It includes a 5.2% raise for service members. The budget also includes $600 million for Ukraine security and gives a short-term extension to the controversial Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins us now to help us understand all of those things I just mentioned. Nikole, this is a yearly bill that goes through Congress. It usually goes through pretty easily because it's bipartisan. Everybody loves to spend money in their districts. But this one had some policy disagreements that almost ran it aground. Remind us what those were.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what essentially passed today was the result of this bill being conferenced because there were different versions both in the House and Senate. And one of the main differences, particularly with respect to the House bill before it was voted on today, is that it had a lot of these so-called culture war amendments that were attached to it, whether that were efforts to strip away, for instance, DEI initiatives at the Pentagon, most notably, for instance, the final version that passed both the House and the Senate this go round did not include a provision that would have blocked the Pentagon from reimbursing service members who have to travel out of state for abortions. Of course, you remember that was a key sticking point in particular for Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, who obviously held up a number of military nominations over that particular policy. So there was a provision to try to block that policy, but again, ended up not being attached. There were also some other provisions, for instance, dealing with transgender care, transgender service members, that also didn't make it into this final bill.
There's a 5.2% pay raise. That's a big leap from before. What accounts for that?
Well, you know, this is something that many members had been pushing and actually was one of the areas of agreement that both the Democrats and Republicans had with respect to this bill, even though they disagreed over some of those other policy issues. So this will provide a 5.2% boost to service members and really includes some other benefits to assist with service members and their finances. So from that perspective, it certainly is a big win.
There's been a fight over the Foreign Intelligence Services Act. There was a brief extension of that. What is that fight about?
Well, this is the warrantless surveillance program. This is a program otherwise known as FISA, which allows the U.S. to conduct surveillance on foreign nationals, and it's due to expire at the end of the year. So there was a lot of concern about whether it was going to get extended. There were some members who kind of wanted to try to overhaul this program, but for now it was tucked into this NDAA package, a 4-month extension. Even FBI Director Christopher Wray warned lawmakers that if this were to lapse, it could compromise national security.
And then finally, we've been hearing a lot about aid to Ukraine, and that's being held up because Republicans won't vote for it until they get an agreement on some border provisions. Where does that stand, that set of negotiations?
Well, there was a bit of a breakthrough, if you want to call it a breakthrough, in the sense that we heard from Leader Schumer earlier today saying that the Senate will come back next week and that they are making progress with respect to trying to reach a border compromise, which is a condition that many Republicans in particular have to approve more aid to Ukraine. I asked a few members earlier today about whether or not they think a deal is possible. Take a listen.
We did a straw poll in my office. It's about 50-50. I'm pretty confident. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a small business guy. You can't go into small businesses without being optimistic.
I'm told there's no written agreement at all. There's no bill text, but there's also actually no written agreement. It's all the negotiations are happening verbally, and they haven't agreed on anything that they could write down yet. So it seems to me like there's a ways to go there, but I don't know. I mean, who knows? Sometimes these things go really fast at the end, and sometimes they drag out forever. I just can't tell.
So there are a number of Republicans who are concerned that they don't have a lot of details. The hope is that maybe lawmakers can work through the weekend and try to reach some type of framework agreement. But even then, you know, crafting the actual legislation could take some additional time. As we know, the White House has put out a proposal that would basically toughen restrictions and would make it easier to expel migrants, which is a key concern of Republicans because they really want to get those illegal border crossing numbers down, John.
Nikole Killion for us on Capitol Hill. Thanks for all that detail, Nikole.
You bet.